Quavo, Takeoff, they was down here with y'all. But they seen you walking by. He's laying on the ground. You got Mike bending down, and they seen you walking by. What took place there?
This the crazy thing about that video, right? Is
this is a problem, Jay Prince, and I'm gonna tell you like this: if you're 60 years old and you trying to be a street nigga, you failed. You failed. I'm telling you this.
Hey, man. Yeah, man. We got a little bit straightening going on. You feel me?
This ain't no regular rap beef. This is war, and it's been bubbling under the surface for way too long. Mase just lit the fuse. He exposed a private phone call between Jay Prince and Takeoff that was never meant to see daylight. Out of nowhere, Prince is losing it, sending threats, trying to clean up the mess, scrambling hard to shut this down. But Mase didn't fold. He fired back, and the way he dragged Prince, brutal.
And I'm gonna tell you another thing. When you're dealing with older people, they're the last to know that things have changed. We not your little, like the way you talking, I don't get what you mean. We're not your little, it's like for real.
He said out loud what a whole lot of people been whispering for years, stuff nobody dared to speak on until now. And let's not forget, the streets still want answers about what really happened that night in Houston. The vibes ain't right. The footage, still missing. Witnesses, suddenly silent. But two names just keep coming up over and over again, Jay Prince Jr. and DJ Pat.
You wasn't really right there with Takeoff when he was alive, you know what I mean? So
now add this leaked phone call to the mix, it flips the whole narrative upside down. But here's the wild part. If Mase is telling the truth, this ain't just a bad look for Prince, this could be a whole cover-up. We're talking deeper than just PR damage. Way deeper. And I'm not just saying that, we've got the receipts. Tweets from people who were there, video clips, podcast threats, bail money that didn't come from nowhere. People online are calling Jay Prince everything from a fake community leader to a cartel-style fixer, saying he's got blood on his hands. So don't blink. This ain't no clickbait. This all ties back to Takeoff's final moments, the mob ties mystery, and why Jay Prince is sweating bullets now that someone with a real voice finally broke the silence. So boom, Mase had been chillin', staying low-key for months. But all that changed once Jay Prince started sneak dissing him with slick little shots on $1 million worth of game. Soon as those subliminals hit, the gloves came off. See, Mase and Cameron had been silent about what really went down in Houston. But Prince crossed a line, and Mase wasn't letting that slide. What he dropped? Insane! Mase said he heard a phone call where Jay Prince was allegedly talking to Takeoff just hours before he got killed. And what was said on that call? According to Mase, Prince was straight pressing Takeoff about some loyalty stuff, like trying to check him behind the scenes, not with love, but with pressure. No big homie vibes, just cold tension.
And I'm gonna tell you another thing. When you're dealing with older people, they're the last to know that things have changed. We not your little, like the way you talking, I don't get what you mean. We're not your little.
And the timing, that's what's got everybody spooked. This convo allegedly went down the same night Takeoff was shot outside that Houston bowling alley. One dice game, one argument, a couple of shots, and Takeoff gone at just 28 years old. And when Mase broke the silence, Jay Prince flipped. Prince ran to social media with all types of veiled threats, trying to scare folks back into silence. He even doubled down on past shady comments about Offset, saying things like, "You wasn't really there with Takeoff when he was alive." That jab kicked off the whole Offset versus Prince situation. Remember when Cardi B jumped in to back her man? That was that moment. But now that Mase is speaking out and bringing up this so-called private call, Prince is spinning like crazy, trying to clean it all up. Problem is, it's way too late for that now. The street's been whispering, but now they're speaking loud and they're sick of the silence. One fan on X nailed it. Nobody respects Jay Prince after Takeoff died on his watch. That's when people really started giving the whole Mob Ties crew some serious side-eye. Takeoff got gunned down, and boom, Patrick Xavier Clark, aka DJ Pat, got arrested real quick. But what shook everybody? Dude posted a $1 million bond like it was pocket change and walked out of jail with zero struggle. You telling me somebody with major pull didn't grease those wheels? Nah, this don't add up. And it gets darker. Rumors been flying that Jay Prince walked right past Takeoff's body and said, "Call that." Don't ask me none about that. Cold, heartless, like it wasn't his problem. Then came the paperwork drama. J. Prince Jr. allegedly asked to have his name removed from DJ Pat's bond conditions. Why? If y'all were all together that night, what you hiding from now? That move alone had folks raising eyebrows like crazy. The timing, suspicious, the silence, deafening. And don't forget Cameron Joshua, aka Lil Cam Fifth. He got picked up right after Takeoff's murder on gun charges. He's tied to mob ties too. Why is it that so many dudes connected to J. Prince Jr. keep ending up smack in the middle of murder scenes, but somehow mob ties always play the victim? Streets ain't buying it anymore. Let's not act brand new. Duke the jeweler got clapped before Takeoff. Same setup. Flew into Houston, linked with mob ties, rolled some dice, ended up dead. Different name, same story, same silence. And once again, J. Prince's name lurking in the background. And y'all remember that strange clip? J. Prince casually telling his shotgun man to fall back? The whole thing felt off, like it was planned. This ain't no coincidence anymore. It's looking like a straight up pattern. Bring wealthy rappers to Houston, tell them to check in with mob ties. Dice game goes down, tensions rise, security stands around like they ain't got eyes. And then, boom, somebody ends up dead. Every time. And after that, here comes J. Prince with the fake deep IG statements talking about black on black violence and grief is the price of love. Man, miss us with all that PR talk. Where were y'all when the blood was still fresh on the ground? Let's be real, none of the princes showed up to Takeoff's funeral, not one. And people ain't buying that as a coincidence. Some say they didn't show up because deep down, they know they've got blood on their hands. J. Prince Jr. stays tweeting nonsense like, don't wear jewelry around vultures. But if you knew the vibe was that dangerous, why even invite Takeoff and Quavo out there? Why let them into a setting that clearly wasn't safe? Ain't that what your check-in system is supposed to prevent? Quavo was allegedly arguing with J. Prince Jr. right before them shots flew. And now there's new footage showing Prince brushing off the whole thing, acting like his name ain't all over this situation, like Takeoff wasn't just murdered under his people's watch. Then J. Prince went on $1 million worth of game and threw slick shots. That's when Mase snapped. He didn't just defend himself, he came for everything. Prince's image, his whole rep, all of it. And the way Mase said it, that wasn't no tweet, that was a full body shot, straight chest hit. He spoke for everybody who's ever felt bullied, silenced, or controlled by this so-called check-in culture. Prince has been pushing for years. Cameron backed it without saying a word. He didn't interrupt, didn't check Mase, didn't try to play neutral. He just let him unload. And that's not like Cam, who usually watches what he says real careful. So the fact that he sat back and let Mase go off, that speaks volumes. Now fans are convinced Mase been holding on to that leaked call, just waiting for J. Prince to slip up and expose himself. And man, he did just that. While all this tension was boiling over, Offset stayed quiet for a while. But soon as J. Prince tried to sneak diss him, claiming he was never really there for Takeoff, Offset snapped. He clapped back with no hesitation, and right behind him, Cardi B stepped in and made it loud and clear. They don't fear nobody, especially not mob ties. And if you know Cardi Ty, you know she don't bluff. That's when folks realize this ain't just some rap drama anymore. A real-life celebrity power couple just called out J. Prince publicly. And now his street rep is starting to collapse under the spotlight. But here's the part most people miss. Big names been falling back from Prince quietly. If you paying attention, it's obvious. Drake, who used to flood mob ties mentions with love, has gone radio silent. No reposts, no tags, nothing. And remember, Jazz Prince is the one who discovered Drake and helped plug him into Wayne and Young Money. Now, Drake's been ghosting Prince Jr. ever since Takeoff's death. And it don't stop there. Jay-Z too. Word is he hasn't responded to anything from mob ties. J. Prince been sending out peace signals since 2023. But let's keep it real. Jay don't do public beefs. He just starts ghosting people. Why? Because the folks he's been beefing with now got real power behind them, corporations, brands worth billions. None of them trying to get caught up in messy headlines or worse, federal heat. Especially now with all the whispers linking mob ties to what happened to Takeoff. And now that Mase is out here leaking private convos, it's game over for that silent strategy. It ain't working anymore. Mob ties only had power because of that old school check-in rule. You come to Houston, you tap in with J. Prince Jr., and they promise you protection. But now that whole system is crashing. Duke the jeweler checked in, ended up dead. Takeoff checked in, same result. Fans are calling it out everywhere. This is why nobody checks in anymore. Because the dudes asking for respect can't even protect the guests they bring into the circle. Even artists from Cali been calling it out, saying the check-in game is just a trap. A flex move for locals trying to act like kingpins in their city, when in reality, they're just middlemen chasing clout. And when Mase finally said what people been scared to say out loud, that Prince is just a failed street boss trying to cosplay a mob kingpin, yo, the internet ran with it. Once he said it, nobody could unhear it. But let's dive deeper. Something real shady's been going on. The night Takeoff got murdered, there were at least 40+ people outside 810 billiards and bowling. We've all seen the clips. We heard the crowd. People online ain't holding back no more. Mob ties getting hit with wild accusations left and right. Folks saying they've been out here paying people off, erasing surveillance, and making sure DJ Pat takes the full fall by himself while the real story stays buried. But here's where things take a wild turn. A theory's been gaining traction. J. Prince Jr. was arguing with Quavo, not Takeoff. Takeoff wasn't even involved, but he's the one who got shot. Now people are asking, was this a hit that went sideways? Or was someone sending a warning and it all went too far? And now, get this. Sources close to Mase and Cameron's circle are saying there's a real possibility that the phone call between Prince and Takeoff was recorded. Maybe it was accidental. Maybe one of them hit record. Either way, word is like that audio exists. And rumor has it, Mase and Cam been holding onto that tape, waiting, just in case Prince made another slick move. If that call ever leaks, it could blow everything wide open. Imagine hearing Prince threaten Takeoff or pressure him into some shady deal he didn't want. That would destroy whatever's left of his public image. And this ain't just anybody exposing him. This is Mase, the same dude who walked away from Diddy, exposed shady deals, and came back with smoke for the whole industry. If that audio drops, that's checkmate for Prince. And here's what makes it even heavier. The Fed's been watching. This ain't just fans digging. This is real eyes on them. Rico doesn't care about rap royalty. They care about threats, witness tampering, and criminal patterns. When you got Offset, Cam, Mase, and a massive fan base saying you've got blood on your hands, your label can't save you, your city can't save you, and those so-called check-ins, they definitely can't save you now. They mean nothing if your name ends up on that paperwork. All these tweets, podcasts, damage control, it's just noise. What we can't forget in the middle of all this chaos is that this was about Takeoff, a real one, the quiet heart of Migos. He wasn't chasing clout, didn't care about spotlight beef. He was about family, bars, and vibes. And now he's gone, taken out over a dice game surrounded by people who claim to love him. That's the tragedy. All that so-called respect and check-in culture didn't mean a thing when bullets flew. Yeah, Prince dropped some poetic caption on IG talking about grief is the price of love, but come on. That ain't what the streets want to hear when you let blood spill on your watch and then walked away like you ain't see it happen. The streets want the truth, not carefully worded posts and podcast puzzles. What Mase did, that wasn't just a clapback, that was a full-blown exposure. He cracked the fear that surrounded Prince for years. He showed that real ones aren't scared to speak anymore. That if Prince keeps trying to spin the narrative, he might just lose everything. From possible leaked phone calls, to feds watching, to big-name artists ghosting mob ties, to witnesses disappearing, this ain't just a story anymore. It's an unraveling. It's real-time consequences coming for a man who built his name on silence and fear. Prince snapped. Mase clapped back. And now the whole world's locked in. Smash that like if you're done with excuses and ready for the truth about Takeoff. Drop a comment if you think J. Prince's grip on the game is finally slipping. Hit that subscribe button if you're riding with the facts.